Yeah. Yeah. All right. What is good, everybody? What is up? My name is C.
My name is Notion.
And welcome to episode 6 of Bad Habits of Podcast. Episode 6 already, eh? Kind of wild.
6, mate.
Number 6. How you doing, man? You good?
Not too bad, mate. Just coming off the back end of a fucking migraine, so looking at this screen hurts, but we're good.
You poor cunt. Has that gone down a bit? Because migraines, I've never had them, but I've heard like they make you like.
It's been a while.
Been a while. What sets that off? Is it just like random stuff or?
I think it's just too much sun, not enough hydration. I think maybe not enough sleep as well. So yeah, all good though.
Okay. As long as you're feeling good.
Shitty world.
Shitty world times.
Shitty world still.
Shitty world still. Maybe we should start there, and just sum up. Like I just feel like we have to kind of talk about it every week. I don't know. It just kind of feels weird if you don't, right?
It's still happening. It's still crazy.
It's still happening. What have you seen in the last week, whether positive or negative? Can you think of
positive or negative? I've seen a lot more fucked up videos surface. Like a lot more police violence videos propping up.
Yes.
Up.
Oh, 2 things I remember now specifically.
Not too keen on all that.
No, it's fucking horrendous. I'm just gonna check my feed for the name of the girl. So there's one dude who got murdered, shot in the back in a Wendy's car park in Atlanta because he fell asleep. He was drunk and he fell asleep in his car. Did you see the video for that one?
No, I didn't.
So I basically didn't need to go that way.
I didn't actually know about that one.
Oh, you didn't? So they burnt the Wendy's down too, but guess who burnt the Wendy's down?
I saw that, and I saw the video of the
white girl doing it. Of course,
fire.
Right? Same shit.
Yeah.
I should have probably had this prepared. It's basically all over my Twitter, but there was a young dude. He was drunk, and they keep saying he fell asleep in his car in the Wendy's drive-thru. So I don't know if he was like weirdly parked, and that's why they called the cops on him or something. But basically, I'd never seen this before. It was kind of crazy. He was like, they made him get down on the ground. It was kind of like the open car park. The cop had his gun out at him and said, "Get down on the ground." Then he just kind of like got up, and then like started chasing the cop. But he didn't have a gun. I think it was a taser. Then he tried to get something in the cop car. Then he got in his own car, drove around, smashed into the cop car.
Oh, that's an old video. The white kid with the taser? Yeah, isn't that old?
I thought that was this one I saw. I thought that was and then he ran off and then they shot him. That's what I heard. I thought it didn't look like a white kid. He was a young black man, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what?
Another one I've seen. There's a bunch that surfaced up. I was like, some of them were old, as in a year or so old. And that was just like white privilege videos where
doing crazy shit to the cops.
White people getting arrested, but doing fucked up shit to the cops, and no one doing anything. So yeah, I saw a bunch of that happening. So that was kind of shit. But otherwise, it's like people were still promoting black businesses, local stuff, places to donate. I've been seeing lots of people just sharing cool stuff. So it's just it's consistent at least.
Right, at least in that way. There's definitely been a lot of sharing, a lot more discussion, which I like. Another fucked up thing. Sorry to keep bringing up the bad stuff. There were 2 in the last week, 2 black men in 2 different cities. One was in Houston and one was somewhere else, and I have forgotten, that they were found hanging from a tree. And the cops are saying it's suicide.
Whoa.
And that is not a coincidence.
No.
In any shape or form. So that one's pretty terrible.
And that was in Atlanta as well?
I don't know if the one I'm looking at in the tweet here was in Houston. I've seen a few videos today about that. So one was found today, and then there was one a couple days ago. So I don't remember what city that was in. And then there was a young girl from Tallahassee, Florida. I was trying to piece together the parts today. She was protesting. She was like 19. She was a victim of sexual abuse from another time. She was protesting in the protest. She was sort of like, sounds like she had a rough time. She was living between places, and all her shit was at like a church where she was staying. And this dude, another black dude, and that's why all the timeline are mad at black men right now for not taking care of black women, who are also known to be the ones to really take care of people. Basically this guy took her in, molested her, raped her, sexually assaulted her in some shape or form, and then I believe he killed her after the fact. They weren't really sure what happened. They found her body. So that was another one that was from this, and people, I'm trying to find it. I don't want to keep scrolling and shit. But yeah, so those were the worst ones I saw in the last week, which were extraordinarily unfortunate. It keeps going. There's still cops still killing people.
Still treating people like shit, like the other protesters and everything.
Yep. It's still going.
There hasn't been any new protests, has there?
I think they just kept going.
If there was anything new, right?
The same. As far as like when you're saying new, I guess you sort of maybe a new city or they've like. I feel like they've continued.
Another city did a new. Yeah, everyone's kind of done their thing, right?
There's been exactly. I feel like they're just continuing. I've seen other ones, but you know what the difference is now? They're not getting the news coverage. That's the problem. They are not getting coverage like the other ones were because it was new and fresh and you know this is what people were talking about. So they did. You probably saw a bunch of the streets were painted Black Lives Matter in the street on major streets.
Washington and stuff.
One was DC. One was in Flint, and I saw people. How the fuck you don't have clean water for like 4 years? But you got that. Yeah. So obviously the city doesn't think that. I saw, and I don't recall which city it is. It might be DC, but the KKK are suing the city for writing that on there.
What?
And I don't know how they're able to. I don't know on what grounds. Yeah.
Do they have a registered business number? Are they actually for real, bro? That sounds like.
I wouldn't be surprised. Bullshit. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's scary,
isn't it?
That's stupid.
America's
like a joke.
It really does.
One of those parody websites or parody blogs would like make a fake post about.
Yes, you're right.
KKK sues America
for being like anti-racist. I didn't even consider that in order to sue someone, if you're an organization, you'd have to have
be like legit.
A legit, like I would imagine that's the case. I didn't even think of that. That is mind blowing.
I'm pretty sure I failed contract law at TAFE there after high school, but that's one thing I came away from.
That you have to have a business.
I'm pretty sure you got to be legit. You can't just be like, oh yeah, nah, this guy. You have to be something.
Ooh, Rochelle just says. So basically, the cops are suing the city. Ooh, shots fired and shots adequately fired. Do I have it
what
all?
Up, Ro?
What up? We'll do the air horn for that because I don't actually have gunshots. Me. I need a gun.
Gunshots.
We need gunshots.
We don't condone violence.
Yeah, that's true. We don't want to do that shit. Fuck that.
We just want to.
Yeah, we just want peace. We just want air horns and love. You know. So it's been pretty rough. Still quite heavy. I feel like people are still posting about it pretty strongly.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a lot, but it feels like, you know, they got the defund. I think we talked about it last week. Minnesota did agree to. It said what was the word? Dismantle. I don't know if it was even defund. It was like to dismantle. So like the defunding movement is going pretty hard. I think there's a lot of disagreement on what that means.
Right.
I think I mentioned this last week. I've been listening to it more. That there's a podcast called Gaslit Nation, and they just talk about this stuff in a way I've never. I don't understand any of the stuff, all the historical significance.
Gaslit Nation.
Gaslit Nation. There's these two women.
Yeah.
One of them's of Ukrainian descent. She was explaining all this stuff about like how the Ukrainians were basically treated by the Russians the same way that black folks are by the whites in America, and how they should be like allies, but I was telling Tiff before, it's something to do with the Irish people in Chicago, like in like the 20s or the 30s, with the Jim Crow law. So all the slaves were freed, but they weren't given any parcels of land. They weren't given any way to succeed. It was just like, fuck off, then off you go. And everyone's treated like shit. People left the South because everything was oppressive, and they went north for opportunities. They went to Chicago, and the Irish were like, they weren't having it, and they apparently were the ones to spearhead the movement because like just the Irish were white, right? Because white is a concept; it's not a thing. Arguably, like black is probably a similar thing as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they were trying to the Polish people, the Russians, all the other Italians, Romania, Croatia, all these other nations that are now under the banner white weren't at the time. So the Irish wanted more people to be against the black folks who were coming in there. So they kind of rallied together and got everybody to agree that, hey, I'm Polish, I'm white, fuck these blacks, type of thing. That's what they did. It's fucking crazy. So this if you're looking to learn more about it for anybody, because look, like I said, I don't know much about it, and I have been like mind blown with all this stuff. Like I only listened to 2 episodes so far. It's fascinating.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just so much history and stuff that like they don't teach us that stuff in school. I don't really.
Yeah, it's like I saw Jane Elliott.
Oh yeah, I was watching it. She was on the Red Table Talk.
Yo, she's on fire. She's I've seen a bunch of videos over the time because
she's everywhere.
She was been a teacher in the '60s or some shit. She's done like lots of experiments and like primary schools with the kids and shit, with dividing them by eye color and whatever. I saw a video recently about the world map and how it's bullshit and it's totally askew. And she's that, I've seen that before, but like this is like a really quick one where she was doing it on the floor. I've seen her do that in the classroom, like in a lecture theater, and like so yeah, she's been doing that. I also saw another video of Jane Elliott with Jada Pinkett Smith and the grandma, like and Willow,
Red Table
all them
Talk.
at the red table, dude. That was fire. And again, like she's pretty much reiterating all of the stuff she's been saying, but she said one thing.
But there's no race.
Way. She's like,
there's no such thing as race.
She's like, we're
all the same.
300,000 to 500,000 years ago, black women like began fucking people, and then she said that people moved further and further away from the equator, and then after generations and generations of making fucking babies further and further away, the pigmentation just went away because there was no sun and shit. And so that was like a really cool way to put it, to package it to younger people these days, or people that haven't even had that concept even brought up. So that was really cool to see snippets of that floating around. So that was really cool content I found.
I like that. I like when she said that we're all like 30th, 40th, 50th cousins. Yeah, and that was kind of dope.
Facts.
Which is dope. Tiff said she saw that video.
What
Jane Elliott is a real one. Yeah, like just a real ass human being, and it's cool. Yeah. I hope that it takes someone like that to speak to the people who are prejudiced or bigoted or just don't understand. If they want to,
I think we need to like make her louder, because like she's been doing this shit forever. We need to make her louder, because she's got the point that like the human race needs to just adopt. Like she knows what the fuck is up.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's it's
but
really
any
cool.
video I've been seeing of her, I'm happy to share that. Or
yes, keep sharing. So make sure to go follow Notion Baby. I get a lot of my. I'm not gonna lie. I get a lot of my shit from you. I see the stuff that you share because I'm not on. I think we talked about this last episode. I'm not on Instagram.
Yeah,
like
I'm getting it. Like I said, I'm getting it half from friends and half from like artists and idols.
Sick.
And like peers and shit. So yeah.
I followed some sick pages too. I think some of the ones that you get. I can't remember their name. There's a few dope pages with like 500,000 followers.
I can't remember any of the fucking handles these days.
Yeah, who even remembers? There's a million of them. But there's some really cool ones out there, just like putting out good information. Hopefully, it's all accurate. I guess that's one thing I can't.
Seems to be mostly, because I don't just like spread. I don't just like share anything. I'll look at the page, see if it's reputable, blah blah blah, and then even if it's like if it seems a little dicey, I won't share it.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you can usually. I mean, I was gonna say you can usually tell, but then how the fuck do we know? Like, you got to kind of do independent research. Depends on what it's about. If it's something straightforward, yeah, cool. But if it's like there were explanations of what I think you shared the defunding, what defunding the police means.
That meant, yeah.
I thought that was cool.
That again, I get it, but it's still very like basic on it. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, same. I get the general point though. It's just
the
like,
archives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me too. I just wasn't able to like when you're like, oh, what does it mean? I'm like, I kind of threw out a kindergarten response, so I need to just watch it again.
Well, that's it. But like, this is all at the same token. Like, we just watched the video on the internet. It's not like we're experts on this shit. Like, we're learning too, right? So I don't think anyone is explaining. It's just because you saw it first. I thought you might have a better explanation than I.
Yeah, I should have watched it a couple times, but yeah, no, it was very brief. There's a couple new ones floating about, but that was definitely interesting to learn that shit too, because I wouldn't have known about it otherwise.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, Slacktivists is a great one. Rochelle says. I think I followed that one.
Oh, wow. Good one.
Slacktivists. I think I actually followed that shit. They're out for them right now if I wasn't already. Oh, fuck, I can be bothered. No, that's super dope. There's a bunch of just really interesting information. So, like, I don't want to be on my phone. Podcast, you know? Otherwise, you look like dudes like Mike Maul from Joe Budden. He's always on his fucking phone.
Fucking hell.
You're a podcast, fam. Oh, you got a segue? I
was just going to say, speaking of phones and watching shit,
there you go.
I watched the Dave Chappelle stand-up.
Yes!
That latest joint?
Yes, I did. I watched
it. We texted briefly about that.
Tell me your thoughts.
It was fucking crazy. It was super brief, which was dope. You said it perfectly. You said in the text yesterday that it was not really stand-up. There's just like straight-up sermon, straight-up facts, and getting like some real points of view across, and like, fuck. He was super emotional. I teared up twice watching it. It's just like fucking like
very emotional.
It's serious shit, bro. So yeah, and then I love how he's like, yeah, well, I got some pussy jokes. Like, don't worry, I got sprinkles in peppers in a lull. But then it was mostly like real shit.
Yes.
So
just really eloquently put. Yeah.
And he said that at the start, like, they made history. It's the first live event since the
pandemic
strikes happened or whatever. The quarantine happened and stuff. yeah, so that was really, really excellent. He's fucking goat, and
By far,
yeah, that's
there's no one better.
10 out of 10.
Best
Yeah.
looking comedian.
Super casual, super easy, super flowing. It just was like, oh yeah, Uncle Dave's just gonna have a chat. Yeah, definitely had to watch that.
He exactly, it was great. It was on some sort of, looked like a farm he lives in Ohio, so I guess it was in Ohio. And it was actually, I saw a thing later. Yeah, exactly. And they all were seated in twos and spread around, and they had no alcohol, so there was no people getting lit and breaking the rules, which was dope. Mm-hmm. And I saw a flyer. I don't know if you saw this. It was called Dave Chappelle and Friends, and he had Michelle Wolf there and a bunch of other people, because his part only went for 27 minutes, which would suggest that it was and he just released it via Netflix's YouTube channel. So that was pretty cool. I'd like to see the rest. Tiff saying he's way beyond a comedian at this point. He's just like a speaker, and that's it.
Facts.
A good part of it, he was talking about Don Lemon from CNN saying, like, where's the celebrities? Where's Dave Chappelle? And he's like, well, the streets are speaking, man. You don't need me. Like, when I'm here...
It's going to happen whether I was fucking... Yeah.
Exactly, whether he's involved with it or not. And it was really dope to see just the way he puts it. It's just so eloquent, like you said. It's emotional. It's not the way, because he just puts it in... There's something about... He has such a way with words that it's just like if you have any sort of doubt about what happened and what it means, like, watch that. It's called 846, because that's the amount of time that the pig's knee was on George Floyd's neck. It was just really it was cool to see. It was a little, you could tell he was weird, and the way that it was shot, it was looking like I thought it was like a green screen or something.
Green screen, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw it beforehand, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was super strange. But that was really,
I was trying to, his silhouette, like, it looked like it was cut out in a funny way, like it was pixelated, so it definitely looked like it was green screen, and those candles weren't flickering. So they either were fake candles with just electronic things.
That would make more
sense.
I'm
looking into my set production too much.
That makes sense, though. I was looking at those.
Don't do media studies at school, because it'll ruin your fucking enjoyment levels for movies.
You will never watch anything right again. It's all messed up. Rochelle's saying he's a wordsmith. Yes, he is indeed. But yeah, it does. The candles, that was a good point, because I was staring at those for a bit. I'm like, how the fuck are those candles all lit during this whole thing? And didn't seem to go off at all in that.
And they're outside, and they're not moving, so they're not
moving.
Little lights with batteries in it.
Yeah.
Cell batteries.
That's those jokes. But no, it's super, super good. It's on YouTube. They put it out for free. When they put it in the description, it says something, I'm sorry to put out something that's so... What word did he use? Unrefined, I think. So, but it wasn't negative. Like, I've seen Dave Chappelle. We were in Hollywood, in LA in 2017, and we went to the Hollywood Improv, and it was the D-Ray. Do you know who D-Ray is? Comedian? D-Ray Davis?
I know that. I definitely know the name. D-Ray Davis?
Yeah, so I didn't know who he was, but he's
green. Yeah, I know the... Okay, yeah.
You know when you see him. Do you know who he is, though? He does all the interludes. He did all the interludes on College Dropout. Like, Kanye, can I talk to you for a minute? Like, that's him.
He does the Bernie Mac impression.
He does all the voices and all the interludes, and I didn't know. So he was the host, and it was just like the Black Comedy Night. So it was either see Joe Rogan or see the Black Comedy Night, and Tiff was like, no, we're going to see the Black Comedy, because there's going to be someone good. I can feel it. And there's a bunch of other people, and at the end, like, they just they go for all the way from Washington D.C. and everyone was like, "Whoa!" Everyone stands the fuck up, and it was wild. And Dave was up there chain smoking for 2 hours, and we paid $12 for it, and he wouldn't like. And I went to take a piss at the end, and then Tiff and our friend Adriana, they got a photo with him outside, and I was taking a piss. That's so vex. And neither of them cared about him at the time either, because you and me being fans since like Chappelle show days, we used to watch it all the time. And they didn't. Neither of them even cared. That's like when we bumped
into Donnell Rawlings at the front of the New York Comedy Club back in the day. Remember?
It was yes, I do. He actually came in. Everyone was supposed to do 20-minute sets, and he did a 40-minute set.
He came at the end, did like 40 minutes, chilled. And
that was so cool.
Smoking with the host out the front.
Yeah, man. Comedians are the best.
It was good fun.
I saw another one. I was actually front row in New York last time we were there, and I think it was like summer last year, like August. And Ronnie Cheng. You know him? He's the
Yes.
He's
saw Eric's comment, and then that was the line I was thinking, like,
BMW I Green.
I Green, like D-Ray Davis.
Who says that? Who's that?
Royce.
Oh, Royce. I love it.
Like, he says something like, we make wages. I'll be.
Oh, that's familiar.
Giving bitches orders like my motherfucking grandpa. It's like the Off the Flex freestyle. I'm pretty sure. Rapping is from rapping. I'll be grinding like the dance hall.
I love it.
Anyway,
goat. Anyway, so it's always a good experience with comedians. I always
Need a
have great
goat
experience.
noise, so it goes bah.
Oh shit! Okay, we should write that down. Maybe we get a goat
noise.
We need a goat noise and a gunshot, maybe something a little, maybe five.
No gunshots.
No gunshots. Just a goat noise.
Like a rainbow noise with a sprinkler, like waterfall chimes.
That's a positive. We keep it positive out here.
Just love, bro.
Ain't no violence. Just hugging. Maybe a hug noise. We need a hug noise.
Hug us.
What does a hug sound like? So anyway, watch Dave Chappelle. That was a really good one. Eric is saying, "Oh, it's from Prime." Okay, so maybe it wasn't from
Prime. Yeah, so he used it. Well, he used that verse in the freestyle because he back-to-backed a fuckload of verses. So anyway, that's where I remember it from, because it sounds better on the beat he did in the Flex joint than on the actual
on the Prime thing. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beat was a better tempo.
I respect that. Royce the goat. Let's see, we've just out doing that. Another thing, the NBA looks like it's coming back. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really upset. They should be doing that now.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Royce the 5'9" speaking. That's a good little seg. Royce posted a video of George Floyd talking about that, and it wasn't from that long ago.
Wow.
And basically, he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why are we concentrating on that right now? We don't need to be, glued to the TVs, going inside. We need to be getting shit done. We're getting all this progress. Why we're going to lose the traction?" And that was something that it was like a minute video, or 2 minutes video, and it was crazy because I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't even know it was coming back. That's the first thing I heard about it.
Oh yeah.
So then I was like, "Oh shit." And then I saw this thing from Charles Barkley on. I flicked past it on. It came up as like an ad or some shit. Oh, TMZ Sports.
Okay.
And then I don't know. Some people hate Charles Barkley because he's like,
He seems like a dick, eh?
Yeah, he's in the NBA's back pocket. Everyone calls him Uncle Tom and shit. So anyway, so it says here from TMZ Sports, Charles Barkley said it would be stupid for to cancel the remainder of the NBA season, saying players wouldn't just miss out on cash, but they also lose their platform. And his quote goes for a while. He says, "I think it'll be stupid for 2 reasons. Number one, if they don't play, they're going to be out of sight, out of mind for the rest of the year." Barkley says that LeBron James is the most famous athlete on the planet. Pretty fair.
Yeah.
But without the NBA season, he won't be visible anymore. So out of sight, out of mind. I disagree because Instagram or whatever, there's platforms to reach LeBron. Anyway, he says number 2, Barkley says the players could be using their paychecks to continue to help the cause. I think like he just wants to keep his job too.
Yeah, because he's a commentator.
Yeah, and it's like, and players are already rich. They're already, contributing to the communities a lot from, like Kyrie Irving and Dwight Howard are like, nah, we don't want to go back yet. There's shit to take care of, And then there's been a couple of players that have been like, and then Barkley says, I have no idea what Kyrie and Dwight are talking about, but it'll be a catastrophic mistake not to play. What are your thoughts on that, mate?
So I'm with George Floyd because it and I've seen it somewhere else. It distracts from the movement, and I think I saw the Kyrie. I know what you're talking about. He tweeted it or something. Yeah. I think. Do you know what? Did you see the quote? What was the Kyrie quote?
I didn't.
Okay.
I just clicked on it.
It said it was something like, sports. It was brilliant. Sports usually brings people together, because I know you and I always joke that I don't really like sports that much. I don't have a problem with it, but I just think it's a waste of time. But at the same token, I really do like basketball, so I don't know. But I can understand that it brings people together. It makes people, unite folks, because we're both going for the same team, and it's great for our city, and blah blah blah. When someone gets a fucking ball in a hoop and shit. But the flip side is that right now it's a distraction. Sports will be a distraction from the mission, and the mission is more important than the sport. Last I checked, or last I heard, I think even the athletes might even be getting paid regardless. Have you heard that at all?
They've got. Well, I mean, they're in a contract. I guess they're going to get the money regardless. It doesn't. That's why I think that Charles Barkley just wants to get his TV money, his appearance money up. But I
think you're right.
Yeah, doesn't sound right, dude. Because they're on a contract. They're getting paid $80 million over friggin' 10 years or whatever they're doing anyway, and they just break it down per game. I'm pretty sure they don't. And then if they get injured, they still get fucking paid. They get paid.
Right. So they're good. They're not hurting.
I think they're good, man. Unless I'm missing something, if there's any NBA experts that know what the fuck's going on, just
please let us know.
But I'm pretty sure that's how she goes.
And I would imagine
they get the money regardless. It doesn't matter if they go back.
Okay.
Unless
And
the contracts are changing.
okay, yeah, that's true. That's a good point because like I feel there might just be like salary, and the stopping the season is probably like a what do you call it? Like a something in the contract where it's like an act of God type of thing. It's no one's fault the COVID happened and the season had to be stopped, so therefore the athlete shouldn't be penalized. Also, think about it. Name an athlete that probably doesn't have some sort of endorsement deal. They're all getting Reebok checks, Nike checks.
NBA. Yeah,
exactly
right.
They've probably got, sponsored fucking posts on Instagram and shit like that. They're probably doing, if they don't have a shoe, if they're not in the top tier that has a shoe, they've probably got some sort of a deal where they're like, there's every sports brand will be trying to pay every athlete to wear their gear in some shape or form, even if they're not a LeBron level that has their own shoe, or a Kobe or an MJ or whatever. A lot of dudes have shoes, like more than you would think for what they contribute.
And people, and even like, people have restaurants, people have got chains of shit, apartments, people have got enough businesses. It's
yeah,
great.
You're right.
Eric says nobody listens to basketball players who aren't actively playing, says Charles Barkley years after retirement. Lol.
That's hilarious.
Awesome. Yeah, he's always, but also Charles Barkley's been in the
NBA's
payroll for fucking like a decade since he stopped, or even longer.
Probably longer. When did
20 years since he stopped? Yeah,
I reckon he would have stopped in the 90s.
Like late 90s. He was playing Jordan in his 90s
Correct.
final. So yeah.
Yep.
So 20 something years he's been a commentator. That's why he's
he wants that check
on side with the NBA. He wants to get back to work.
Yeah, and look, it just seems like would they let people come to the games? Like, did they say how it was going to work?
No. Like, our mum's friend Felicity, she posted the AFL's back on, mate. What the fuck?
Yo, I saw that, but can people go to the games?
No.
Okay, because I saw St Kilda posted about it. Interesting.
UFC's just like chilling.
It's going to be so
I told
weird.
you I watched one last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you can hear like all the cracks of the fist, like it was really like.
Hear all the body shots like 10 times harder. It's like
right.
Anyway, so yeah, very very weird because there's no one in the crowd and the commentators are sitting on the other side of the ring. They're all by themselves. Usually they sit shoulder to shoulder and they rev each other up.
Right.
Joe Rogan and the other guy usually like shoulder each other and get excited like little kids.
Jumping up and down and shit. And now they like.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have the test, but
just like sitting there.
How accurate are those tests and stuff is kind of weird, particularly in something like the UFC when it's like, look, basketball's contact and sweat, but there's a difference between sweat, I would imagine, than putting your fist in someone in someone's fucking mouth. Eric saying obviously no platform there for Charles Barkley, of course. And like let's go back to what you said. Every athlete, I feel like, do athletes talk when they play? No, they don't you don't hear anything they say unless after the game, and it's like, yeah, we went pretty hard tonight. The guys did well, like
trash to each other, but
it's
not audible.
Of course. So when it comes back to talking, when they're saying athletes have no platform if they don't play, that is absolute utter nonsense. And that you said it, you were right. They're on social media. They're on all different.
They got heaps of platforms.
They're
all doing their stuff. Like
they are their own platform now. It's just, that's a moot point. That would have been a point in like 1998. Whatever.
Yeah, when there wasn't the other outlet
before MySpace. Yeah, fuck, man. Like that's so dumb. Speaking of the footy thing, I saw. So for those who don't know, I guess most of our audience are in North America, but Australian rules football, we call it footy because that's what we do. We abbreviate everything. Australia. Our team is called the St Kilda Saints. I was good, and they had this dude. They were been supporting basically Black Lives Matter via the natives in Australia. There's a bunch of like Aboriginal dudes who play football in the AFL league, and they're dominating. Like we've had like Nicky Winmar back in the day. He was triple OG, and there's a lot of stuff. Australia has a very, just like North America, very 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 racist, problematic colonial history, and they're supporting it. And then some dude was like, "Oh, if you're supporting this, then like I'm going to have to withdraw my membership," and the actual St Kilda thing retweeted him, and we're like, no problem, here's the website, you can go get we'll be happy to process your refund. Like the team basically told him to suck a dick, and this is meant more, one, because it was our team, but two, because it was Australia. And I really feel like Australia are behind typically in issues like this because there's just such a deep lack of understanding of cultural differences and multiculturalism. It's not always from ignorance, but it's not always from like hate or prejudice. It's just they just don't know. So I thought that was super.
Yeah, we dealt with it last week briefly, didn't we, on the show?
Yeah, we did. I mean, he said he was going to listen, and he handled it pretty well.
And it sounded like he was going to do that. So that worked out well.
I hope so, because there's a lot of resources that we told him about, and I hope he went ahead and did that. We can give him the benefit of the doubt, but I liked that he didn't push back and said that he was listening, and I thought it was a good thing for us to be like to challenge him on it in a friendly conversation way, though, because there's no point like yelling. If people are going to be yelling, like you're not going to convince them.
Just stop talking, just wait.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that, so that way I think it was good for everybody. It was a nice learning thing. But that was interesting. So sports might be back. Speaking of sports, I did see in New Zealand, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was the first day they reported 0 active cases of COVID. So they had I think a rugby game back and at a full stadium because no one has it, and it's all good because they handled their fucking business, which is tough. I mean, granted, they're a small island of 4 or 5 million people, so it's definitely a lot easier for them to kill that shit. But that was pretty dope. I mean, they were able to do that. But then I saw people tweeting as well saying, so what are you going to do about the economy? Or, like, you got no international students or tourists and stuff. So, I mean, once that happens, that's probably going to change the game as well. Unless they're going to have to be hella strict at the airports and stuff. Make sure. But that's pretty cool that they got to that point. I know... When is Ontario opening up? Do you know?
No idea. I went to... the supermarket yesterday.
Okay.
And there was no security person at the door letting 5 cunts or 3 cunts in at a time. I just was like,
it was
usually you have to wait. That is what you walk in. There's a table. You can grab your own gloves, your own hand sanitizer. Boom, boom. Walk in. I was like, and everyone was just like walking in.
How was the vibe?
Like there was no person at the door. No, it's fine. And also, I didn't go at a busy time.
Okay. Yeah, you're good with that.
Yeah, I don't.
Interesting.
Market, but yeah, there's lots of stickers on the floor to say 6 foot back up.
Walk this way. These are up and down aisles.
No, there's not. I was gonna say they're not directing traffic like the LCBO does.
Okay. All our supermarkets are doing
that because usually the supermarket across from me is like, I think it's 3 at a time, 5 at a time, whatever. They let 5 out, 5 in, whatever it is.
That makes sense.
There wasn't a person there, so unless they were just off today because it was the other day because it was the weekend. But I will keep you posted with the supermarket update.
Please do. Fuck talking about hip hop. This is the supermarket podcast now.
I mean,
shopping habits with C and no.
I got the know-how.
We shop good.
I know how to shop.
Quebec today just opened up for barbers, hair salons, nails, and all that stuff.
You're getting a fade, bro?
Do you know what, dude? I've been thinking about it. I've been looking at myself in the mirror every day, and I'm like, my shit, like my side where the fade is like probably like good 2 inches long. And I was like, should I just grow it out and be Russ, or should I like get that shit fixed? No, fix? That's what Tiff said. She goes, if you do that shit, you have to like change your whole image and stuff. And I'll be like, all right.
Wavy general.
I just don't think my hair's wavy like that. I don't know. I like it longish, but like, yeah, I have to get a fade. But I don't know. I'm not trying to go back yet. I don't know. I don't trust it.
You're also an Italian. We don't have curly hair.
Yeah, that's a problem. We get this straight ass shit, so it's not gonna work. So yeah, okay. Point taken. Thank you. I've been sort of like agonizing over it. Like, what the fuck do I do? I got an album cycle coming up soon, so I gotta like think about what the hell I'm gonna look like. But on top of that, though, the point was that's step 1 here, and then I think it's June 22nd is on the island of Montreal. Your businesses are allowed to open again to say like breweries, restaurants. I don't know about bars. It's just say breweries with a restaurant and other restaurants. I think they can have outside seating, and they're going to have like all these distancing rules and stuff like that. So, question to you.
I saw what's it called? Flanagan's.
Flanagan's. That's familiar.
There's a New Zealand Aussie pub.
Downtown.
Yorkville.
Yeah, we went there with Scotty for Hemingway's. Yeah. We went there for Australia.
Blog to Yo. We did. I've been there a couple of times since, and
it's not good.
Not recently, honestly, years ago, but still been there for some footy matches.
Not our vibe.
They had a thing on Blog. Yeah, they had a thing on Blog to Yo, and they literally have cut the patio in half because they were talking about how much the patio means to their business, and they just like they have one way through the place. So you walk in the front entrance, then you have to go upstairs, and you can't go and get your own drinks. Like,
they have to bring
waiters walk in a circular fashion, one way sort of style, and then when everyone's patrons are ready to leave, they exit out the the fire escape down to like one of the laneways where the shops are and shit. So anyway, so lots of businesses that have those big dirty patios are really trying to like prepare for it because they're opening up soon. I think it might even be like
it might be done now.
Next Monday, or I mean maybe even today.
Do you know what? That makes sense.
That post while you're talking.
That means it's. I'd like to know for Ontario because that means if it's next Monday, that's the 22nd, which is the same day as Quebec, which means that's the Canada thing. Then they've let it. They're doing it at the same time. I have a question for you and for anybody watching live right now. Would you go? Like, when are you cool to go and sit on a patio to a? I guess it would be a pub or I don't want to say pub, but say like a place where it serves food and alcohol. When would you be comfortable going to that? And under what circumstances? Because personally, I ain't fucking with that for a while.
I was going to say I'm definitely not going to be part of the first wave of dicks. So I don't want to go out straight away. I'm definitely going to wait a little while. I'm just going to have to, and also the places that you go to, I want places that are like big ceilings, well ventilated. You know what I'm saying? So like Godspeed, Avalon, because they got large places, big ceilings. You know what I mean? Like
big garage doors that open out.
9 to 2.
I was thinking left field.
Yeah, left field as well. So even Rorschach's patio upstairs is
it's massive.
That's fair, but like it's not that you have to limit their space too. So yeah, everyone's gonna have to chop their stuff in half. But I won't be going to that for a month at least. But the places that I will go to were the ones I mentioned because they're either fully outside or they have large ceilings, and you feel like there's lots of room to move, and they've got plenty of room.
Air blowing through,
everywhere, and exactly right.
That's a really good point. So, I'm with you.
Yeah,
go on.
Wait.
Yeah, you're gonna wait. Do you know what?
I'm gonna wait.
I'm with you, and I'd like to say the protests were by the end of this week. It'll be 2 weeks since the last major protest, at least in Montreal. And I think it'll be the same in Toronto. So then we'll see if there's a spike in cases. And then secondly, I want to do the same thing. So I'm not going to go to the barber for at least 2 weeks. I want to see what happens for all the people who go between now and then. And then same with the restaurants as well. But I'm probably more inclined. I'm just not in a rush. And I don't want to get on like...
Yeah.
I know you went on public transport. You had to recently, but I don't really want to yet.
It was so yuck, man. I'm definitely not going to... I rode my bike...
that's probably a better option.
Chappelle Woods the other day, just to grab some beers and come back. I didn't want to take the tram. I didn't want to take the subway, especially. I can't find that video. It's not fucking there.
That's all right.
But yeah, I was really regretted taking the
subway.
Train. It was also ages ago. I had to go out.
Yeah, but still, it was like...
So I was masked up and stuff, but I forgot how much fucking brake dust is in the subway.
It's gross. You just smell it.
You can see it.
You can see
hazy.
it. Ugh.
I was just like, fuck. So anyway, I was all masked up and I was lucky, but I was like, nah, I'd rather just ride across the city because like...
If there's like enough bike lanes, that's true. As long as there's enough safe bike lanes, because Toronto's rough with that.
It's got a lot better. I'll have to zigzag through certain places. So, but yeah, I find a good way. If I have to stay on the road, then it's like...
Yeah, it's kind of scary because man's a wildin'. Like,
kind of scary.
Yeah, I thought that.
Stupid. So many people on bikes don't wear helmets. That makes me like...
Because they don't have to.
What are you doing, bro? Like,
yeah. In Australia, you have to. Like, if you get fined. You get fined, yeah. Like, and even with super gross, like if they have like a Bixby type service, and like, imagine having a shared public helmet. Ah, fucking gross.
Dude, I'd bring my own.
I would totally bring my own. It's so filthy.
That's so disgusting.
I would love to, like, even with us now, we're like, there's some shit we need from IKEA, and they won't, like, deliver, and we're like, all right, well, if we want to rent a car, we have to take an Uber to the car rental spot, and then you got to get that car, you got to go wait in the lines at IKEA, and then go in that fucking filthy-ass store with all these people. Like, I'm not, if I'm ready for all that yet. I'd like to...
don't.
No, right? That's what I'm thinking, too.
Even going to some breweries, like, I've had to line up with, like, 3-4 people. It's like, even at the LCBO sometimes when I'm going to get, like, wine or whatever, some people just don't know what fucking 6 feet is, eh? Like, there's like, markings on the ground, and, like, just had some old fucker, like, right on my heels. I'm turning around, I'm like...
Fam. Just start coughing.
Tape measure out, and I just laughed, because he looked like he was 85, so it was fine. It's like talking to Grandpa. But yeah, he just, like... started to chat with me and stuff about the weather, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
Was he talking moistly? Was he talking moistly?
Moistly and softly.
Was it? Do you know what that's from?
Chocolate.
That's a good episode name. Talking chocolate, strawberries, talking moistly. I like that. Yeah, the shit is wild, man. I would like to, because Tiff's birthday, my girlfriend, our show producer, her birthday's mid-July, and we always end up. We usually would go to Toronto. I don't know if we'd do that this year, but I'd like to rent a car and go to like a cabin by a lake or something. So I'm hoping
Meet you at the cabin.
Mate, come through. That'd be sick, actually. I'm just thinking about doing something like that.
That'd be a good way to do it, right?
Well, because like, would I do it? Coming back to what we said before about the restaurants and stuff, I wanted to wait for these couple weeks to see what happens. So by the time the restaurants open, our theory is 2 weeks after the restaurants open, so Monday the 22nd, that sounds like it's the same for Ontario. 2 weeks after that, then we'll probably know if shit is like going up or down. Like all the other states in America that have been opened, all the cases are fucking going wild. So I'm optimistic, but like cautiously. Yeah, did you see that shit? Like Arizona, I think Vegas, Nevada, all the West Texas. Side. Yeah, most of the West. Exactly, it's mostly West and mostly red states too. They're all the conservative folks, but I'm just want to check because I already feel like I know some people who are super cautious, and a lot of people I see out in the streets don't give a fuck. It's wild. So I want to check anyway. So we'll see what's going on with that.
I see a lot of people don't even have fucking masks on regular stuff. Like if I'm riding my bike, no, but I have a mask in my bag if I'm getting off to do shit. Because if you ride a bike with your mask on, you'd be sweating your fucking air. No. I've seen people. Whenever I see people in a car with a mask on, don't care if they're by themselves or with a person. I fucking die laughing and I point at them. It's like, dude, what are you doing, fam?
It seems kind of redundant.
Take it off now. You're safe in your
You're in your whip. Turn the AC on. Put the fucking window down. Pop the moonroof. Jesus Christ. Yeah, people are fucked. That's hilarious. So we'll see how that goes. So maybe we should talk about rap because it's been 41 minutes. I don't think we have yet.
Okay, yeah, go for it. I actually listened to most of the.
Go do music first. Don't do music or the battle. Yeah, and we'll finish on the battle thing.
Just
music. Let's go. New music. I think this has been a really good week for new music. I've been very impressed with what's been popping this last week because it was quiet the week before intentionally. So, what have you been enjoying? What did you listen to? Let's run through it.
Out of what you've given me on this old list here, I listened to the Georgia Smith single "Fire."
That was good. Yeah, great slap. I forgot the name of it.
To the cool. YG. Fucking Police.
Yes, which is hilarious.
I also watched the video too, which we can discuss that in a second.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I didn't know it was a
listen
video.
to the.
Damn it.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like he's in the middle of the riots.
Is that the one in LA when obviously. I saw like a little and
he's
a clip from it.
And he's just rapping.
Yeah. Okay, I saw that one. I saw like a clip from it, so I get
pretty ballsy video.
Yeah.
Like there's great, like solid B-roll, like great imagery, like it's fucking crazy. He's got like minimal rap parts, and that's fine.
Okay, I like that. That's cool though. At least it's timely.
Yeah, Lil Baby, the Bigger Picture song's fire. Even though I don't like the auto-tune rap, what he's saying is great.
Yes.
And
so is the G-Eazy joint.
That song, I just don't like the. I did not listen to G-Eazy. I didn't get there.
So my biggest takeaway from the last week is that G-Eazy, who I quite like, but a lot of people don't like him, but I like him for what he is. Like he's ignorant, sort of like jamming rap. It's always fun songs. And Lil Baby, I don't really like.
Tunes to kind of thump in the car, right?
Yeah, car, the club, talk about fucking just empty, ignorant shit that if you want to tune out and just listen to stuff and whatever, it's cool, right?
As long as the beats are good.
Yeah, he does pretty well with the beat selection. But if G-Eazy and Lil Baby did two of the most socially conscious songs of the week, I feel like we're in a whole other stratosphere right now. Like we're not waiting on Common, we're not waiting on Most, we're not waiting on Kweli, fucking Jay coming through. Like this is like the two most ignorant motherfuckers in the game come through, and I was so impressed. Like it's just a sentiment. I'm just like, this is what you need to be telling your young fans, though, right? This is what it is. It's all about telling the youth them. They need to who listen to this shit. They need to know that shit is real, and if there are people like them are using their platform for good, I think that is a beautiful thing, and I got much respect for that. Like I think it's blessed.
Absolutely, it just speeds everything up. Just keeps momentum going from more avenues.
Yes.
So yeah,
and just letting people know. So those are all
numbers, and
yes, indeed.
Where we stand, kind of thing.
Preach, my man. Preach. My favorite EP of the week, I've listened to this like 6 times, is Rumor, RMR. The EP is called "Drug Dealing Is a Lost Art." Did you get a chance to watch that or
Did
check
not.
that?
I saw that. I have it saved.
Okay, so check that. Basically, he's this cat, and you remember how like when Weekend came out, he was mad, like mysterious and shit.
Right.
This dude, he wears a ski mask. He's got gold fronts. The album is called "Drug Dealing Is a Lost Art," but no one knows his real name. No one knows where he's from. He's a singer. He came out. I sent you the video. He came out with a song called "Rascal," and it's over a song by Rascal Flatts, who are a country artist. So he likes country. He likes everything. So he did this thing, and the video is all these dudes in ski masks holding like fucking AKs, and it's this beautiful soft piano thing, and he's saying like "fuck 12" and like all this stuff in this over this really nice lush country song. Did you see that one?
I'm literally watching it now. I've seen people post. I've seen the still image of them standing in front of that blue shed.
The song is like beautiful. Well, sonically beautiful. What he's saying is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then so he did that, and I was like, oh, "This is pretty funny." I liked it straight away.
The ski masks are fucking hilarious.
But I read articles about this dude. He went into the label meetings wearing that ski mask and refused to take it off. So all the labels don't know his name and and never seen his face. Apparently he's that dedicated to it. And he said anytime anyone asks him, he goes, "I'm from the world." Eric is like the Rascal video is incredible. It really is. So guys, check it out. Seriously, RMR pronounced rumor Rascal. And then he's got two other videos that came out. Now. Wait till, and then afterwards, I want you to go and soak. But if you went and listened to the album without seeing that, I don't think that you'd be like, this is kind of weird. But you need to know that it's that guy singing it, because like he's very astute. He's very well spoken, and he's like, you wouldn't expect that song to come out of a guy that looks like me. He's very self-aware, right? Then he had a second single, I think it was called Dealer, and then he had a third single, I'm Not Over You, and they were all just weird videos. And they're just catchy. And they're just like, like they're just like well broken up. Like as a songwriter, you'll understand. You'll be like, all right, so there's the intro part. There's the pre-hook. There's like everything's broken up into 4 8-part pieces. It changes. It moves. It's
nice.
And it's got 8 tracks. The first song, it's fucking great, man. The first song's got West Side Gun on it, and you start with the. He does that shit. I love that.
Welfare, yeah.
Yeah, Welfare, that joint. And he also, man. And he did a remix with a Future and Lil Baby, actually, we were just talking about him. It's fantastic. I really love it. He's like one of the most interesting, exciting artists I've seen in a long time. So that's album of the week from me. What else was fire? I listened to Tiana Taylor's new single. That was pretty dope. I like Tiana.
Me too. That was fucking excellent. Really smooth. Great.
And she had her boyfriend, her husband.
Good feature. Is that a boyfriend?
Yeah, Iman Trumpet from Cleveland.
Everyone looked beautiful. They had their family there. They have like lots of like beautiful themes. They lots of black love going on. It's excellent.
Do you know who he is?
Great video. No, he just rapped, and I was like, oh, cool. I thought he was just the model in the video.
No, he plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Plays for the Cavs. NBA player.
What?
Yeah, and he raps, and now she features him in the stuff, right? He's like a funny looking dude, but like
fire.
Yeah, he did well. He raps too. It's kind of like Kobe back in the day.
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess next time I watch the Cavs game, I'll fucking look at
it. Hey, this motherfucker.
Whenever that will be.
Hopefully
let's 2021. They should just fucking stop the season and go. Raps just like continue the 2020.
Yeah, just give it to them 2 years in a row. They were at the top when it finished, weren't they?
Yeah.
So just give them the fucking flag. Easy, half year one, back to back, repeat.
Second trophy. Let's go.
So that shit was flames. The other shit I listened to.
Go.
No, go. Please.
No.
I said after you.
You're talking about new shit. I was going to talk about other shit.
Okay. I'll keep going. Then we'll come back.
Music that is kind of sort of new. It's not relevant.
All right, I'll finish this list and then we can get onto that one. Jack Garrett from the UK. You heard him? He's like
not Jack Harlow, no Jack Garrett. Oh yeah, he's a rapper.
No, singer. It's kind of like Sohn, like Sohn, who does the production for like Quabs and them. He's kind of like in that kind of vibe, like an alt R&B type of shit. He dropped a new album. Didn't love it. It was like 3 songs in 4 sections, so 4 and they're separated on Spotify in 4 albums with 3 songs. I thought that was weird. Wasn't loving it. Didn't really get too much into it, but I really like his older stuff, so that was kind of odd. Chloe and Halle, they are these 2 sisters. I don't know if they're twins or not, but they're signed to Beyonce's label, and they were younger. They're pretty young, and they just dropped a new album. I didn't mind it. It's kind of typically poppy, and it reminds me of Beyonce shit. And I've said this before. I'm not a huge fan of her pop work. I like her other stuff, but I never liked her pop stuff, and this reminds me of that. But it was an interesting growth album because I just checked it out because a lot of people were talking about it online. So if you like Beyonce, I think you'll like it. If you're not fucking with Beyonce shit, you probably won't dig it. And then the other two I listened to, yeah, it's worth like just background if you're cleaning or doing something, chuck it on, like vibing. Eric Bellinger, have you heard of him? He's a singer, R&B dude. He did an album, a new album. It was pretty cool. He reminds me. He's in that, like, Elijah Blake.
Yeah, I've seen that come around. He's a singer too, right?
He's a singer as well. Yeah, singer, producer, songwriter. I think he's written stuff for like some pretty good people and stuff. So Eric Bellinger reminds me of him a little bit. I like Elijah more, but Eric was cool. Some cool little like R&B, old R&B type shit. Nice little. Once again, kind of background. I don't know how much I'd come back to it. And the final one this week. Do you know James Morrison? He's like a blue-eyed soul singer. They call him, like a white dude from the UK who has like.
I don't think so. James Morrison sounds like the trumpet player
from Australia. Yes. So I used to send you one song by him called "Undiscovered" to you and Tommy and stuff back in the day a lot before we left, because it just made me feel about like how we are, because it says I'm not lost, just undiscovered. It's like yeah, man, constant know about us.
Oh shit. I remember now.
So he did a live album, and that song's on there. The live album was great. It was 2010. I remember being at my last job before we left Australia and sending you that, being like, guys, you need to listen to this. I was like busting your balls to check it because it was moving.
No, I remember.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So he did a live album, which is really cool, and his voice is great. It's all old live band back. He must have recorded it last year or something, but very, very cool. That was all I checked out for this week, and I think it was a pretty solid haul. The vast majority are actually good, so I'm pretty impressed. 6 podcasts in, and then we're actually starting to get some fire. I feel like it's been hit or miss for over this time, but I quite enjoyed that one. Now, coming back to what you were about to say, you about to bring up an old music or something?
Just some like I like watching like live. So, for example, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib did a live thing.
Okay.
It's called the Diamond Mine, MINE sessions. So it says Freddie Gibbs and Madlib and L. Michaels Affair, and it says Palmolive in capitals. So that was just like a fucking dope-ass live thing. I really was jamming to that.
Nice. Freddie's dope.
I listened to... There was a couple... When I clicked on that one, because sometimes YouTube takes down the rabbit hole, and that came up. After I was listening to some of the Bandana album, and then it went on to that as a suggested video. So that was sick. You know the French producer FJK?
Yes, French Kiwi Juice.
FKJ. Yeah, French. Yeah. He does this live at Sala de Uni or whatever. It's basically in Bolivia. It's a salt lake. There's this company. There's a YouTube channel called Circle, CERCLE, and they have a set that's raised on the salt lake, and it's like all like white plastic on it, so it kind of blends in with the water. It's technically like an inch under the water.
Wow.
An inch above the water. And they have a full stage set up. He's got all the keyboards, all his guitars, and all his shit. And the way they've got a drone and 2 dudes on cameras, do with a Steadicam, and it's like the most like fucking insane shit. And then like the sun sets, and it looks like he's in heaven, dude. Because like this, you can just see the water goes to the horizon, and then there's this fucking sky.
And it's just all white, and it kind of blends in. That's sick.
It's all water. It's all water and all sky. Nothing else. Fucking out of control. So that FKJ live at Sala de... I'll give you the link. Anyway,
yeah.
So that's crazy. I like watching live shit like that because I either can sit and watch it if I'm just chilling, drinking tea, smoking, or if I just want to listen to it, I can cook, clean the house.
I like that. I like him, yeah.
Producer Knowledge, Knowledge.
Yes.
That works for Anderson .Paak. He has a bunch of beat tapes on YouTube, and they're called HX, and that's part HX. 1, part 2 up. I might listen to part 14 now. It looks like there's so many of them. They're fucking nuts. Some of them, it's like one of them was like, so I skipped it, but the rest of them were really good instrumentals.
Similar to yours, the way you do yours, the IllNote ones, like just mix them in, or they like...
Yeah, pretty much just all the beats are blended together.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. That's pretty much...
That's cool. I'm gonna check out the FKJ one. Eric actually mentioned there's a new Sky Zoo called Milestones that drops. He said on the 19th, so that's this Friday. But they
I saw Sky Zoo post about that actually.
Yes,
yeah, he said something on it on his.
And he dropped a single today for Father's Day. I think it was called Father's Day or something like that. And Eric is also saying Knowledge and Meek Mill tapes just released part 6. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Eric coming in, giving us the
Uncle Eric with the
It's a game coming every week and letting us know the because Eric's got a very specific taste. I like it because it's like this sort of underground, conscious, soulful, boom bap hip hop type of taste. So I like that, and that's what we fuck with as well. So I appreciate that, man. That's dope.
Yeah,
I like that. So yeah, good week for music, both new and old, and a little bit older. On the battle tip, so I think Versus, like we said last week, they observed, they kind of chilled out for a bit and didn't do any battles. Did you see the new one for this Friday?
Only because you told me. But
okay.
I saw
cheated.
A post on the old interwebs, and I wasn't too sure what was happening with that. But then, yeah. So pretty excited.
Mrs. Beats and John Legend, so Alicia Keys and Johnny, are going at it on Friday.
So are they singing or are they playing the piano against each other? Because if they're playing the piano against each other, that'd be a battle. If they're just playing songs, it'd be like a Jill Scott Erica thing,
That is like such a good fucking point. That would be sick.
Because they're both sick, right?
On paper, this is a yawn fest. I fuck with...
Yeah, it's all love ballads.
That's what I'm saying. They're too ballady. I'm not no shade. Because, you and I have been into John Legend from, we saw him back in the day in Melbourne. And
slowly just, stroke one out to it or something.
Yeah, just very slowly. Real slow. You can make that last 2 hours, bro. You can make that shit last 2 hours.
That's gentle.
Be real gentle. Just, don't go full strokes. Go half strokes.
The marathon continues.
Nipsey would be disgusted. He'll spit on you right now.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, he's chilling.
I just gone for the lulz. That
was good lulz. That was
worth giggles.
Just for giggles. Do you know what the problem is for me? We do this podcast at 8 p.m. on Mondays, and I do my beer podcast at 8 p.m. on Fridays, and it's 8 p.m. Friday. So I hope they put it. I'm going to miss it, but I hope they put it on you. Have you noticed if they put it on? I know we've been watching them all, so I don't even know if they were putting them on YouTube. Do you remember early on they were doing that? They were cutting them like our screen is right now with half. They were, instead of the vertical, they were editing it and popping it on YouTube exactly like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was actually mad cool. Where's it you can put down? So I hope they do that because now we're going to miss it and I really want to see it. And now I need to see more of it because we have a podcast that we talk about it. So at the very least, you'll be able to have that first-hand session watching that shit, and I'll have to check it later. But hopefully they do it. I guess they'll do it over the weekend. Why'd you do it Friday? Fuck, they always do it Saturdays. Vex.
Saturday's way better.
Saturday is better.
We'll give him a shout.
Give Swiss a shout. Shoot him a text real quick. Just be like, fam.
Hey Tiff in the background.
Oh, you can. She's not on the camera, so you're there, but you're not on camera. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
She's just getting a snack.
I can only hear your side.
Yeah, you can only see my side on the thing, but Brad can see more because he's got the Skype view.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good. I like that you've got the...
Screen.
Oh, thank you so much. I like that you have the... you've got the thing up on the actual podcast up on your other screen so you can see all the live... fucking... Jesus Christ, I can't think. The live comments. Thank you.
Comments, yes.
Which is good. Rochelle says, because it's Juneteenth to celebrate on the day. Okay. Are you familiar with Juneteenth? I learned about this recently.
I've seen them. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so...
I've seen it, but I don't know what it is.
You've seen it? So, Rochelle, I feel like this is the type of vibe you know about. It's a celebration of the ending of slavery. But I don't know if it was... Last I heard, though, it's actually 2 years to the day after slaves in Texas were freed. No, enslaved people, this is a difference, were freed, but they didn't tell them. So can you think about that? Imagine thinking about that shit. The Emancipation Proclamation comes through, say all enslaved people are free, and then how would the people who are enslaved know that they're free? Because they ain't really talking to other people, and if the people who are enslaving them don't tell them, they're going to be like, what the fuck? So that's what I heard that's, and I don't know why they celebrate that specific day. I have no clue, but that's what it's supposed to be about.
Okay. All right.
So it's a historically significant day, and I guess during a time, fucking dickhead Trump had a speech planned for that day somewhere. In where was it? Somewhere significant too, like in the South, and he changed it to the Saturday because people got mad about it. He kind of acted like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, he's such a fuckhead.
What a dick.
I know, right? Fuck. Chips. Hungry today.
Get a chip for you.
All right.
What kind of chips?
I think they're like kettle chips, just or like the
Everyone wants to know.
plain. Oh, she's Rochelle. Everyone wants to know what chips you eating. Rochelle says it's a rally in Tulsa. Oh, Tulsa, Oklahoma, with Black Wall Street. Do you know the Black Wall Street story? That shit is wild, man. That's worth looking up. I mean, I don't know if that's the TLDR. It's worth googling. I've only seen a little bit about it, but you know how the Games record label is called Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
So basically, sorry for the microphone, I made the noise. So basically, after Rochelle is saying the biggest black massacre, Black Wall Street. There you go, boom. So basically, after the enslaved people were free, they started a really, really big, the most successful, most wealthy black community that's ever existed in the States was started in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they called it Black Wall Street. All the businesses were black. Everything was like doing really great. And of course, the whites weren't feeling that, so they came and literally killed everybody and burnt the whole fucking thing down.
What?
And that's the main. It's actually the most disgusting thing of all time.
Fucking hell.
And I was reading another article about Michael Jordan after we watched the Last Dance documentary, and he's from a town called Wilmington, North Carolina, and basically similar shit on a small scale happened there. After people were freed, they were starting, there's a lot of black folks in government there. They were running, not the mayor necessarily, but like high up people, lots of black-owned businesses, and blah, blah. And then they had this election, and a bunch of these white dudes weren't happy with how it went, so they came in, just killed everybody, burnt down all the stores, and then pretty much everybody dipped. So that town has nothing North Carolina now because of that. I guess where everyone left to go for opportunities in the north. Kind of crazy.
Jesus Christ.
But when
that's wild, bro.
It is. But this is what all of this time is making us learn about. Now we're all like, why would we ever learn about these things? Because we're just kids from Melbourne, Australia, who they don't even teach us native Australian history. So why would they teach us the real shit of what happened in the States? Yep. It's disgusting. So it's cool to be aware of this stuff and to talk about it and to learn about it and to shine light on it. I've enjoyed what's sad because it's fucking horrendous, but it's like, all right, this shit is real, man. This shit is really serious, and I encourage anybody to go and look into this stuff. Like, look up Black Wall Street, look up what happened in Delaware. Wilmington, North Carolina. There's a Wilmington, Delaware as well. I was not from that Sean P line. I got you Wilmington. The song with Fonte. What's my point? What's the one with Fonte called? Fuck, I'm gonna listen to that after this. Whatever. Two goats. But yes, rap songs teach you everything. So there's definitely a lot happening. I feel like there's definitely less happening in rap shit. Because we're talking, I find ourselves talking more about the political stuff than like hip hop lately. For better or worse. I mean, that's what's going on in the world. It seems kind of trivial sometimes to be talking about hip hop, but I feel like we got to balance it. People need something to let it be known. That's the one. Thank you, Eric. I knew you'd come through with that goods. Classic.
There he is.
He's fit. Sean P. Fonte, kill the let it be known. Yeah, join. Slapper.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I love that.
What you know about it.
What you know about it. Oh, man, I can't think of all the lyrics off the top of my head right now. I'm having a blank, but killer. Yeah. I feel like I haven't seen anything else crazy. Oh, Pusha T had his baby today. Congrats to Terrence. You know what I mean?
Okay, there you go.
Coming through with a little youngin'. He is not hiding a child. He is not hiding it. Get it?
Not hiding it.
Get it? So I did that.
Yeah, right. You're pretty smart,
mate. I'm not as dumb as I look, mate. I saw that today. What else has been popping? I feel like my timeline is mostly political shit, and just all the people who like all the crazy stuff that's been going on. Mostly just kill, murder. Unfortunately, so I feel like I haven't seen really anything else much going on, which is kind of like Wow, I'm just trying to picture if there's anything. Did you have, you said you had some random screenshots of anything? Is there
I did
anything
have
that
a couple.
we didn't cover there? I'm sure there's probably some things that I might have seen and we can jump into. Chips.
Last episode we were talking about top fives and shit.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Eminem
Of course.
posted.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Huh?
Go on. Please, sorry, just remind me. I totally missed another point. I'm staring at it.
Word. Yeah, Eminem said, this is his tweet, and I quote, "For me, in no particular order, toss up between Wayne, Puck, Royce, Jay, Redman, Tretch, G-Rap, Biggie, and King Crook."
That's a pretty good top 10.
How crazy is that?
I mean, I know Crooked was pretty stoked to be put in that, but...
Of course. Probably just...
He didn't include himself,
They always give each other mad dabs. No, he didn't. That's crazy.
All right.
I like this. Like to see Redman's name being mentioned. That's lovely.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, Am respects the GOATs, G-Rap too.
Of course, yeah. G-Rap, Tretch, fucking hell.
Tretch is super underrated. Also. I still feel like Big gets a little more props than what he should based on his catalog, but it was impressive while at the same token, more impressive than most people who have such a small catalog. And Tretch definitely he was one of the original fast kind of rappers. And it wasn't even that fast, it was just faster than, it wasn't like Tech 9 and fast type of thing, it was just faster than most. I love Tretch, man. I love Naughty by Nature. The shit was so lit.
Yeah, they had different fucking... There's nothing like them. There's definitely a trendsetter with his bars and his patterns and stuff. That's why I think.
And his porn. So high. Don't forget his porn. He did porn for a bit. He did porn for a bit.
He did porn.
Yeah, I never saw it because I don't want to see. That's the problem. I don't want to see nobody's dick, but he did porn. No. Sorry, yes, I know. I distracted from your valid point.
No, that's it. Another thing that Uncle Eric gave me a shout about: Apollo Brown and Shay Noir featuring Black Thought, "Hustle Don't Give," which is pretty damn fucking nice.
I heard the other song called 94.
I'll send you the link for that. So that was fire.
Yes. Did you hear the other single they had called 94 from the same project?
No.
It was very hip hop. It was very super boom bap and referring to all the shit that happened in 94 and stuff. It was cool.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the project. Okay. One thing I read. No apologies at all. By the way, I don't think you ever understand when I go the hip hop thing. It's from Deezus and Mero. They love hip hop, but they make fun of real hip hop. And they talk about
oh yeah.
They just always make fun of it. So
mistake.
It's a mistake of it. So I don't know if I was going over people's heads and just think I'm being a dick. So 40, who produces all Drake's shit, or most of Drake's stuff. He had a lengthy profile in Rolling Stone in the past week. And which was interesting because he seems he's a strange man, but and he's pretty sick, unfortunately, because he didn't take the last 10 years. He did not take the MS medicine because it was making him ill in response to it. And he was touring with Drake, and it fucked him up and put him off the road too long, so he didn't do it. So now it might. I think he can actually. It's definitely a shot in his lifespan for sure. It sucks for him, but he interestingly. Rated Drake's albums from top to bottom. And Drake did that too in the interview with rap radar Elliot Wilson and B-Dot at his house. I think that was just before quarantine. I think it was this year. I don't even know. My timelines are out the window. But 40 rated Drake's albums, and I thought that was fascinating because the best part for me was my favorite Drake album is what Drake said was his number one as well. And I'm like,
oh,
boom.
Cool. I have to look at that because okay.
Would you? I know I sort of didn't. I don't know if you could do it off the top of your head, but I've only got a top 4. The rest of them I can take it or leave. My top 4, number 1 is
definitely couldn't do it off the top.
Okay, because you could go on Spotify real quick and look at his shit, and you'd be like, yeah. But my favorite by far is Nothing Was the Same. That's just a classic. Almost every track is just a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Second would be probably So Far Gone because that was the joint. Even though I really like Comeback Season, it was still mostly jacked beat, so I'd probably put that actually 5th. So second, So Far Gone, just because that was the one really moved it. Third was If You're Reading This Is Too Late.
It was too late. Yeah,
I really like that one. That was just an interesting project. Fourth, a lot of people don't count this, but More Life. I really like More Life, even though they said it was a playlist and not an album.
True.
More Life slapped, and then fifth would be Comeback Season because that was the one.
It was more like a playlist, wasn't it? It was more like a bunch of songs from a bunch of years ago.
No, it's constructed like
singles.
No, do you know the funny thing? It was it's no different than an album, but they called it a playlist. That was it. They just called it a fucking playlist. There's nothing else. They didn't do anything else to it. They were just like, yeah, I'm dropping a playlist.
That's how it was billed.
Yeah, it was just like, you know how you could put a mixtape out or an album, and what's the real difference these days? And albums usually through a label, a mixtape might be independent, and maybe you could do a bit more. Usually artists put less effort into the mixtapes and more into the albums, but half the time, like the mixtapes turn out better. So that's what that was supposed to be, and I feel like it was just an album. It was no different. Yeah, but he 40 put, I forgot what one he put first, but whatever it was not the one, because Drake himself said Nothing Was the Same, and that was just like by far the best. I thought it was an interesting thing to rank albums by a guy like that. Like it seems a little bit like bandwagon. Let's rate Drake albums. So I'm not trying to do that shit, but like only because like, it was not like we talk about Drake all the time. I listen to him occasionally, but like it's not like a regular rotation anymore. I just thought it was interesting that the guy that made the music, he also said, yeah, I hate pretty much all my beats. So he's just like the same as all of us. He makes like actual genre-defining and generation-defining music with this guy, and hates all of his shit. It's hilarious. I feel like 40, you are all of us. We all, sometimes get too picky and like, man, fuck that. Fuck the old stuff.
Yeah, he's a bit of a genius though. He does some crazy shit with his mixing. Like I've seen him on a bunch of shows. He's definitely like out the box. He does shit that people are not supposed to do.
Right.
He's probably just like Danger Mouse is a nutcase as well, because he's got like all these his control room's out of control.
Yeah.
Out of this world. It's got oscillators and buttons and knobs as far as the eye can see.
Is that what you want?
At his house.
Oh, love him.
Nah. I do. I mean, Knobfest is sweet, pause, but like it's better to have it in the box. I think it's just a little more cost effective and shit.
Okay, but would it make a difference in your ultimate studio?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making dance music, like what he's got is mainly for that. I just want like stuff for, like I want compressors and equalizers and stuff, and maybe a limiter.
Right.
Just stuff for mastering, really.
Okay, different kind, which needs physical equipment versus mixing that doesn't really.
Well, it doesn't. Both of them could be both ways, so you can do hybrid setups of both.
Interesting.
Which is kind of what Connor has.
Right. Cell Model Studio.
Does a lot of stuff. Yep. Shout out Uncle Connor. So he does like he'll do mastering. He'll put a couple of plugins on it, and then he'll go out into his gear and then back in, kind of thing. So
that makes sense.
Depends.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Depends what every track doesn't need salt or pepper, so you just he's got different tools for.
Keep that shit bland like the whites do.
Oh my goodness, you don't. No.
No bland?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, spice that bitch up.
Hey?
No bland.
Spice it up.
Spice that bitch up. Okay, that's dope.
No bland.
I wonder if anyone ever wants us to talk about like engineering or production nerd thing. When I say us, I mean Notion, because I obviously don't know fucking anything about it. But if that's ever interest to anybody, we could always tackle a topic or something like that. I definitely want to have Connor on soon and get him to talk about his engineer stuff and get a bit nerdy. And
well, he's mixing country lately, which is really funny.
That's awesome. See, he's good. That's more interesting though. Like, why would you just want to do one genre if you can do it all? Like,
exactly. Yeah, I was doing Spanish trap last month. I did
beautiful
some pop EDM. Obviously, I did some boom bap hip hop as well. So I get a couple of
eclectic shit
cases,
spicy
eclectic music to work on, which is really good.
I like that.
It's fun, challenging. I haven't done rock though, but I've done rock and rap.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Just basically guitars and boom bap drums.
Well,
anyway,
I guess you're doing that for the Relentless, for my next album. The stuff that you're doing, would that be, some of it is kind of rocky. It's like some actual like sort of just rock sounding guitar, and some of the joints real drums. Like we got a drum and track, and so you're doing you technically kind of, even though it's essentially hip hop, it's still the same format as you've got keys, you've got a bass line, you've got guitar, you got multiple vocals and other bullshit in there.
That's true.
So what can't you do? What can't you do really is what I'm trying to say.
Mate, I can do it all. Let's get it done.
Let's fucking get it going. Get her fucking going. Also, might as well shout out Jonathan Emile Solidarity Tees. I got the link in the description.
There it is.
Shouts to, I just posted, I wore this for the podcast, the beer podcast. I wore it for Bad Habits last week. I wore it to the beer podcast and I just posted one of the beer review pictures. And then someone went and bought, by the way, I'm not getting any money from this whatsoever. I'm just helping my friend out. And a dude went and bought it off the beer photo, which is pretty gold. So I was like, support the homies,
Solid. Good work.
Yeah, it's a good message. It's a good time for it. I fucks with it. Anything
There's
else?
Link in the description right there.
Link in
that.
Oh, tell them about your.
That's all I had, mate.
Tell them about your. I've got your link in the description too. About your offer for artists at this time. That still stands? I would imagine.
Yeah, I was just gonna do it for the rest of the month, until someone hits me up. Really, what I was gonna do, I was gonna donate if there's a black artist that has a song about the Black Lives Matter going ons. I can provide a beat to them free of charge, and if they have a song that's recorded and needs to be mixed, I can mix it. Or if they have the song that's mixed and then ready to go and they need to get mastered and finished up, I can do that. So I'm happy to donate one of the 3 services to an artist that needs to get a song out about that kind of stuff and just get the voices heard and
I love it.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. So that's pretty much it for this episode, Sonny. Do you know what? Let's just really quickly do the thumbnail so we don't forget. Are you ready? If you got something, What you got this week? What are you gonna do? Maybe people should tell us what to do in the thumbnail. Oh, that's a good. Show the beer. Oh, maybe I can hold up my drink too. Look at that. Cute. Oh, look at that. That's a thumbnail right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. It's just a couple of blokes having a fucking chin wag. So another episode of Bad Habits, guys. Appreciate y'all joining us. Notion, where can everyone find you online, mate?
At Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and at IllNote Studios on Instagram and Facebook, and IllNoteStudios.com.
There you go. And make sure if you're an artist of color specifically, if you're black and you are doing any songs that relate to the movement, and you need some help with any of that, please hit up Notion. He can definitely take care of you until the end of the month. You can follow me everywhere at CEEFOR, Twitter, and not everywhere. That is a complete falsification. It is Instagram and Twitter. It's CEETMF on Facebook, and that's my website as well. That goes to TMF. You can get on Notion stuff there as well and everything. I got to make a podcast page on that. That was my next job. Make sure you follow the podcast, man. If you guys are fucking with the episodes, chuck us a thumbs up, subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and when we got new things happening, new music. Follow us on all the on all social media at The Movement Fam, and also check out all the podcasts. We're on all the major things: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, fucking what else are we on? Why am I having a blank? Deezer, goddamn Google Podcast. There's one more. I don't know why I forgot.
Every single
you name it
platform.
We out here.
You can find us.
Pretty much, right? Subscribe, give us a rating and review if you so inclined. Yo, shouts to us real quick. We hit right now we were number 40 something in Canada under music commentary, but I checked. I sent to you just before on May 13th, so a month ago. We were number 7 in Canada.
Number 7.
Isn't that crazy? We just started this fucking thing. Yo, for real though, episode 6, doing that, we didn't have that much with the beer stuff, so I know we're having a head start because we've been doing music and had the platform for a while, but congrats to you, sir. Thanks,
mate. Congrats, mate.
Cheers. I think it's dope. It makes me very happy that people are fucking with it enough to listen every week and tune in, people commenting. It's a good time. I really enjoy the lives because they're fun. And if people are appreciating the content, we'll keep doing it as long as people are fucking with it, This is just an experiment for us, see what's going on. I've been podcasting for a while, something new for you being the host and stuff. So, we're just, seeing where this goes. So, if y'all keep enjoying it, then shit, man, what are we going to do? Not keep doing it? Shit. So,
thanks a lot, everybody.
Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? Was actually put a video in this week. So, there's going to be no video at the end of this week. That is my bad. I'm responsible.
You're going to bop to the theme tune.
You're going to bop to the theme tune? Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. That's the Little Britain reference for the real heads who knows. So I'm going to end this straight after. So guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Hi. Yep. Ah, shit.